So, Bitcoin is doing its thing pretty nicely, bouncing from the middle of this channel as we have been talking about in the previous videos. And this is really interesting because this is basically visible on Whale Portal. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, it was just a really nice signal because we had this selling pressure going on. Bitcoin was coming down, but when Bitcoin was coming down aggressively, we could see that also the selling pressure aggressively left. So that intensity red that you see right here completely evaporated when we came down. And here we can also see that the moment we came down and the selling pressure was gone, we do get a neutral sentiment, which means that people are not that bullish in general. We get the momentum indicators going into the negative, going to oversold conditions, but then slowly coming back up. And this was pretty nice signal to open a long ride here, even though most people were actually expecting Bitcoin to go and see lower levels. It really goes against your emotional feeling. I remember opening a short right here. I opened a short while I actually felt bullish because I was like, okay, Bitcoin has been seeing such a nice bounce. So my emotional state of the markets was I'm feeling really bullish, and you can see that everybody was feeling bullish because the sentiment right here was green. So I'm not the only one. The 90% of the market participants was feeling bullish about Bitcoin right here. But when I was seeing these signals, this intensity of the red, the divergences on the momentum indicators, then my trading strategy would tell me, okay, if it's going to roll over, it's going to roll over right now. So even though I was feeling bullish, I just decided to open a short just because that is the part of my trading strategy that I have to listen to and not to my emotional state. And then the next day I wake up and we see Bitcoin just having a significant drop. Well, actually, feeling-wise, I was thinking like, oh my God, I'm opening a short and tomorrow it will be at higher levels. So that's actually the power, guys, of not listening to your emotional state, or maybe listening to your emotional state but not acting up on it. And that's the same what happened right here. When Bitcoin dropped such a big amount in a short amount of time, a lot of people also became bearish. It didn't look that good. However, if you would look at the signals right here, that the selling pressure is gone, the momentum indicators are coming up, then you could know, or basically have a higher probability view that a small bounce right here, at least a small bounce, something that we see right now, was more likely than to directly continue lower. So we also reacted on that with closing the short and opening a long. Now, when we have a look at Bitcoin, it's a bit now it's becoming a little bit more difficult because when we look at Whale Portal, there are some things possible. It actually looks pretty bullish, if you ask me, because we spent some time in the red. This is the momentum indicators are coming up. Selling pressure is gone. However, sometimes we can also do something like this, where we just come down and backtest the middle of the channel again and do the opposite in the momentum indicators, that we have like a bullish divergence. That's definitely a possibility. If we were to lose the middle of the channel right here, that would be an invalidation of the long position, and that would increase the probability that we are going to see the bottom of the channel, maybe $53,000. But right now, you cannot say that yet because we are not seeing that reflection in the markets. And this chart might be the most important chart right now after Bitcoin, because this chart has an inverse correlation with Bitcoin, which means that when this chart is going down, Bitcoin goes up. When this chart is going up, Bitcoin goes down. And what we are seeing right now is that we are in this rising channel right here. And structure-wise, we do have some nice structures because generally you would say that this is an uptrend, and that's true, it is an uptrend. However, we do have some signals that this might be potentially breaking down. And I can go over the signals right here. First of all, we have this one, this uptrend, the white line right here. We broke that white line to the downside, we bounced, and maybe we are right now retesting this level as resistance. And in the chart, that would look something like this, where we come up and we haven't left the channel in the chart yet, but then eventually, once we get that rejection, we can break this channel to the downside. That would be very nice and very bullish for Bitcoin, if you ask me. Would definitely fit in the period that we are. I think this is a decent possibility. Also, when we have a look at this pattern, we could also be forming a head and shoulders pattern where we have like a left shoulder, a head in the middle, and a right shoulder right here, which got rejected at the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. So I think there's quite some optimistic signs in this chart that this is going to go lower, although this is also very important to note, we don't have any confirmation yet. So we want this to really break down and then lose support. So preferably lose this level of 6.8%. Because we have seen similar situations where we come down and then break back into this channel. So this is something we really would love to see if Bitcoin is going to go for a rally, maybe going to the all-time highs again. Because also what's interesting, guys, is if you look at this channel where Bitcoin is consolidating in, right, we are seeing something similar with the stablecoin dominance. So this channel started consolidation in March 2024. This one also started in March 2024, so you can see that the pattern in both charts are very similar. And maybe there is a possibility, for example, that we can see the stablecoin dominance breaking down first, which is an early signal for us that this is going to break out to the upside. And this thing breaking out to the upside, I probably don't have to let you know what is going to happen, because that is a crazy moment after such a long time of consolidation around the previous all-time high. Let me just look at this from a, let's go just to a weekly perspective. Then you can already smell what is going to happen, right? Look at the last time we broke the all-time high right here. When we broke 20k, that was actually when the acceleration phase of the bull market happened. So I would expect something similar if we can manage to break out to the upside right here. So also break above the all-time high, the previous all-time high, that area. I would expect a acceleration, something similar as we have seen in 2021. So yeah, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can see the value as well of this data, because it can really give you an objective perspective of the markets, and that's what it's all about. Because even though what I've learned in the past couple of years is that you can have a profitable trading strategy and still be not profitable. Why? Because you don't have insight in your own emotional state. So you would, like, for example, like open trades, and then once the trade is open, you would second guess, you would feel fear, your emotions will get the best of you. And for me personally, the data points that we are using with World Portal makes it very easy to see through that illusion, to see through that emotional illusion. So it's way easier for me to make certain decisions and stick with it. But that's also because, of course, I really love this data. I love this charts. And the moment I wake up in the morning and I just open this charts, I really have a feeling of control about the price predictions in the markets. And that actually, that feeling of control is only there since I have these charts are basically available, because these data points give me such a clear picture of what's happening in the market that they will give me an edge in terms of whether it's more likely for the price to go up or go down, even though sometimes I will be wrong, because that's part of the trading strategy. Like you cannot have a situation where you're never wrong, and you should not want to have a situation where you're never wrong, because that means that you cannot handle losses, and that you are trying to over control the markets by trying to avoid any pain. And this often leads to more losses and worse decision making. So it is very important that you see the losses in your trading strategy also as part of your trading strategy, because like I said in the video of the casino, guys, it is about the zero in the roulette game, right? It is about that zero. It's about the threshold of doing 1,000 trades and knowing that you're profitable. And every single trade, if you zoom in on them, they can be profitable or they can be losers. That's just the name of the game, right? You can bet on red and black. You can win or lose. But the casino owner who has the zero placed in there, he knows that the odds are in his favor. Because if you have 1,000 of spins, it will sometimes fall on green, and then everyone lose their money and the casino owner wins. So he has a 51 or 52% chance of winning, while the gambler has a 48 or 49% chance. And this is only a 1-2% chance difference. While in trading with these type of charts, you can, in my opinion, you can have actually 10, 20, maybe even 30% better odds of making the right decision than the casino owner who only have maybe 1 or 2% with the roulette table. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. If you all enjoyed it, if you like me being more active lately again, make sure to leave that thumbs up, subscribe down below, watch my previous videos, some tutorials like the take buy sell ratio or the book heat map. A lot of valuable tutorials that you can I would definitely recommend everyone to watch. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you want to trade, check in the description the exchanges that I'm recommending to trade with. Bybit, Apex, they both have big deposit bonuses going on up to $30,000 and lately I'm personally using Apex very much because I'm living in a restricted country from Bybit. I'm still using Bybit, but just for spot market. I cannot really trade leverage on Bybit, so I use Apex for that, but I'm also planning to start to use some other centralized exchanges again, like VMAX. I've used that one in the past, and I think that is also a pretty good exchange. But yeah, I got all the links in the description down below. If you want to check that out, just have a look. Guys, I want to wish you all a beautiful Saturday, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye-bye.